On the night of August 8, 2013, a 26-year-old father of four named Brandon Lawson made a frantic 911 call from the side of a Texas highway. What he said, what he saw, and what happened next has remained one of the most debated mysteries. In American true crime history, Brandon Lawson lived in San Angelo, Texas. He worked in the oil field, long hours, heavy labor, and had recently returned home after being away for several days. That night, he and his girlfriend, LaDessa, had an argument. Brandon left the house in the early hours of the morning, got into his truck, and drove off. At 12:53 a.m., he called his brother Kyle. Brandon said he was on the way to his dad's house. This would be the last time anyone saw or heard from him in person. At 12:54 a.m., Brandon called 911. The call lasted 48 seconds. His voice sounded panicked, rushed, and difficult to understand. Dispatcher 911, what's your emergency? Brandon responds with, yes, I'm in the middle of a field. I ran into somebody. I need the cops. There's a guy chasing me through the woods. Please hurry. There is heavy breathing, distant noises, and then silence. The call ends abruptly to this day. Nobody knows exactly what Brandon saw or who he was talking about, not long after the 911 call. A sheriff's deputy found Brandon's truck abandoned on the side of Highway 277. The truck was not crashed. The doors were unlocked. Gasoline had run out, but there was no sign of struggle. Kyle, his brother, arrived shortly after. He called out for Brandon repeatedly, but heard nothing. Searchers later discovered no footprints, no dropped items, no signs of a chase, no evidence of foul play. It was as if Brandon vanished into the dark Texas brush. Experts, audio engineers, and thousands of people have attempted to decode the call. Three major interpretations exist. Theory 1, he ran into a cartel or illegal activity. The stretch of Texas highway is known for drug trafficking. Some believe Brandon saw something he wasn't supposed to. Theory 2, he was hallucinating due to exhaustion or substances. Police reports later confirmed Brandon had taken meth before leaving home. Some say he may have been paranoid. Though this still doesn't explain the disappearance. Theory 3, he was attacked by someone hiding. In the brush, many listeners insist they hear another person in the background, the sheriffs. Officers never confirmed this, but they have also never denied it. For years, search teams combed the fields, the riverbed, the brush, and the private properties nearby. No body, no clothing, no phone, nothing. The disappearance became the subject of online forums and national true crime shows. Then, a decade later, something changed in February 2022. Volunteer search teams found human remains near where Brandon vanished. In 2023, DNA confirmed these remains belonged to Brandon Lawson. But here's the disturbing part. Authorities still have not released the cause of death. No weapon was found, no signs of a crime scene. Even with his remains discovered, the mystery has not been solved. The question remains, what happened in those 48 seconds on the 911 call? Brandon Lawson's final words have echoed across true crime communities for over a decade. What terrified him that night? Who or what was he running from? And why did a man traveling a familiar highway simply disappear? This case remains one of the most haunting unsolved mysteries in modern American true crime. Even after Brandon's remains were finally identified, the case did not become clearer. In fact, it became more confusing. The following theories continue to dominate true crime research communities. Theory 4, Brandon was hiding from someone he knew. Some investigators believe Brandon may have recognized the person he claimed was chasing him. Details fueling this theory include his unusually urgent tone in the call to his brother, the phrase "I ran into them," the fact that he left his home immediately after an argument, and his refusal to stay on the line with his family. Some speculate he may have encountered someone he knew along Highway 277, maybe someone from work or someone connected to the drug activity in the area. However, police have never named any suspects. Audio analysts who studied the enhanced 911 call claim to hear a second voice in the distance. They describe a muffled male voice, several short phrases, and footsteps or movement behind Brandon. Some listeners believe they hear the words, "We're not here, we're not going to hurt you." But because of the poor audio quality, nothing is conclusive. If there was another person, their identity has never been confirmed. The terrain around Highway 277 is brutal: sharp thorn bushes, steep drop-offs, thick brush, coyotes, and wildlife. And no light at night. If Brandon sprinted into dense brush while frightened and disoriented, he could have been injured, lost, exhausted, dehydrated, or unable to climb back out. His remains were discovered in an area difficult to search, suggesting he may have been incapacitated shortly after the call. One of the most controversial aspects of the case is how the initial response unfolded. When officers found Brandon's truck, they did not treat it as a crime scene. They believed he had simply run off into the woods. They assumed he was hiding to avoid a warrant. They did not initiate a large search. This delay may have cost critical hours, when Brandon was still alive. Kyle later said, "If they had searched right away, I think they would have found him." Brandon's family has spent more than a decade pushing for answers, especially his brother Kyle. Who was the last person to speak to him? Kyle maintains. "Brandon sounded scared," Brandon said. "They're chasing me. Something or someone was out there. Brandon was not hallucinating." He also said Brandon never would have intentionally disappeared. He loved his kids more than anything. Ladessa, his longtime girlfriend, continues to insist that Brandon's final phone calls did not sound like someone running from police, but someone running from danger. The family has always believed foul play was involved. Perhaps the most overlooked part of the case is the phone data. Here's what investigators confirmed. Brandon attempted multiple calls after the 911 call. Some went to his brother, some to his girlfriend, one to 911 that didn't connect. His phone continued to ring for hours before dying. Experts believe this means his phone was not instantly destroyed. He may have been hiding, injured, or unable to move. He survived for some time after running into the brush. This raises a terrifying possibility. Brandon may have been alive for hours, even while searchers were nearby. In 2022, volunteer searchers located remains on a private property not far from where his truck had been. Found what makes the discovery eerie is this: search teams' dogs. And investigators had combed that area many times before. Some theories suggest he may have moved deeper into the brush before collapsing. Wildlife may have scattered remains over time. Flooding in the area could have displaced evidence. The terrain is so thick that even professional search teams missed him for years. The 911 recording released to the public is not the entire file. Police have a longer version that was never released due to background noise, inaudible sections, and sensitive content. Some law enforcement officials privately suggested the unreleased audio includes additional movement, more environmental sounds, and possibly more voices, but none of this has been confirmed publicly. The mystery around the missing audio has only fueled speculation. Many believe the case was mishandled from the start. Key issues: no immediate search, no preservation of the truck as evidence, and no thermal imaging used early. No K-9 units were deployed overnight. And there was an early assumption that Brandon was avoiding police. If Brandon was alive longer than expected, these early mistakes may have prevented his rescue. Several former law enforcement officers who studied the case independently have offered insights. Expert Opinion 1, Brandon was running from something real. His voice does not match meth. Hallucinations, Expert Opinion 2, he sounded injured. Breathless, the call indicates physical struggle. Expert Opinion 3, if multiple people were in the area, the deputy arriving might have scared them off. These opinions aren't official, but they echo what many listeners believe. Even with physical remains found, the story refuses to settle, because at its core, it asks chilling questions. How does a man vanish on a highway while calling for help, while police are only minutes away, and still not get found for nearly a decade? Brandon's final words continue to replay in the minds of thousands. "I'm in a field I ran into." Then please hurry. It's not just a disappearance. It's a moment frozen in time, a real-time recording of fear, confusion, and something unknown lurking in the dark today. Brandon Lawson's story remains one of the most chilling unsolved mysteries in Texas, the 911 call. raises more questions than answers. The search efforts exposed gaps in the early investigation. The discovery of his remains brought closure, but not understanding. The truth about what chased Brandon that night, what he saw, and what he tried to escape may never be known. But the mystery of his final words continues to echo across the true crime world. It continues to haunt everyone who hears them. Thanks for watching.